Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to do one assignment from our online machine learning course, which is movie rating prediction. You can also treat it as a mini project, which is called sentiment analysis, where given any review, you have to predict whether this review is a positive review or a negative review. So you just have to download the data set from the course. So you will get a two folder. One is for train and one is test folder. So we will see how to pre-process this data since it is a text data, and we will also create the model and will train and also try to submit the prediction. So let's get started and let's move to the Jupyter notebook. So let's first import few necessary libraries. So let's import NumPy, let's import pandas, and let's also import matplotlib. And since the dataset is in CSV file, we can use this function from pandas.readCSV to read the file. And from the current directory, we have this folder train, and inside train, we have file name as train.csv. And let's call this variable as dataset. So if you check the shape of dataset, we'll see 40,000 comma 2. So it means 40,000 are the instances or the reviews and 2 are the columns. So let's check the head of dataset. So this is the head. It means to have two columns, and the first column is your actual review, what this review is, and the second column is label, whether this is a positive review and the negative review. So one thing is you have to convert this label, since this is a target variable and this is your independent feature or variable. You have to convert the target variable into some encodings. You can say label encoding, so that it will be converted into 1 or 0 format. So positive will be converted to 1 and negative will be converted to 0. So before that, let's check how many positive reviews are there and how many negative reviews are there. So you can use this function. So to get all the labels, you just write this data set label. So you get all the labels for 40,000 reviews. And there's a function in pandas called value counts, and this function gives how many positive reviews are. So you can see 20,011 and negative are 19,989. So this means that this data set is a balanced data set. Balance means both negative class or positive class are equally distributed, so 50-50%. So now let's convert this target variable into encoding. So we can say from sklearn dot preprocessing import label encoder, and we can create an object le is equal to label encoder. So to get this column, we have to write y is equal to dataset labels dot values. So why we use dot values? To convert into numpy array. If you don't use dot values, it will be still in some pandas objects, right, or series. So let's use this dot values, and it is converted to numpy array. So you can see numpy array. Now let's use this function, use this object le and convert into ones and zeros. So we can use le dot fit transform y, right, and it returns the same 40,000 array, but positive is converted to 1 and negative is converted to 0. So let's receive it in y. So if you check first 100 elements, so you can see there are some positive reviews which is 1 and negative reviews which is 0, right? So now let's deal with text data. So if you take review column, if you take the review column, so you will get all the reviews, right? And this is your first review, which is actually positive. This is your second review, right? So we have to pre-process this data. And if you look some reviews, so you will see that it looked like this data set is scraped from internet, because it has a lot of BR text, and BR in HTML stand for break line, break rule, right? So for the next line, so we have to remove all these tags of HTML. So what we can do, so let's start pre-processing of text data. So there are some steps that we are going to perform. That one is remove punctuations and remove some stop words. We need to do stemming, right? So we will perform all these steps. So let's first. So I hope everyone knows what is stop words, and let's call the stop words. Let's import stop words. So from NLTK package, and we have corpus. Let's import stop words, right? So let's also called stop words dot words and language is set to English. So we get all the stop words of English. So we have to remove all these stop words if we encounter these words in our review. So let's pass it to set so that we get only unique elements. And let's call it SW, which is stop word. And let's also make a object of stemmer. So we will use Porter stemmer. So we can say from NLTK dot stem, let's import Porter stemmer, right? And let's also create an object of Porter stemmer, which is done like this, Porter stemmer, right? Now let's create a function that will do some pre-processing. So let's call this function as clean text, and it will receive a sample. Sample can be any review, maybe one review, two review, like the or any random text. So we call it as a sample. So first step is, so you can see there are some upper character and lower character. So first step is we will convert everything to lower character. So we will say sample dot lower, and will receive it in sample, right? And the next step is we will remove uh, these tags. So we will remove these tags, right? So we will use a library or package called RE for regular expressions, right? And we will remove these tags. So then we can say sample dot replace. So this replace function is to replace any string value with another string value. So we can say replace this thing, replace this with nothing. So I'm not replacing it with space, it's just nothing, right? So I will replace this string with nothing, and it will be removed from our review, and will receive in sample, right? So the next step would be to remove all the character that does not belongs to A to Z. Maybe we can also remove things like this. So this number does not make any sense, and we can remove this, right? So we will use a regular expression, and we will say all the numbers that do not belongs to A to Z, right, or between A to Z, we will remove all those not number, we can say all the characters that do not belongs between A to Z. So we have this package re, and it has a function sub, which take a pattern that what pattern, if this pattern is fulfilled, then it will be replaced by this thing, right? So we have to give a pattern here. So we have to give a pattern here, and what which string we have to with what string we have to replace it. So the pattern is, if the character does not follow A to Z or capital A to capital Z, right? So it means right now the element is following, or the character is following A to Z and A to Z, small a to small z and capital A to capital Z. It is following that property, and it will be replaced by space. But we want all the character that does not follow this property, so we will put this sign. So this is negation. So if any character does not follow, so this is not does not follow small a to small z and capital A to capital Z, we will replace that character with space, right? And we have to perform this thing on sample, because sample is the string name. One more thing is, we have to put plus sign here. Why? Because there can be multiple occurrence of any character. For example, if a word is written like, so you know that L is following this thing, right? And I is also following, K is also following, E is also following. So this plus means it will check until it encounters some character that does not belongs to this pattern. So it means it will accept like it as it like, right? But as soon as it encounters space, so space does not follow this pattern, and it will replace this string, which is character space, with a space. And if it encounter comma, it will also replace by space, right? So this is what we are saying, and it will return a string. We will receive it in sample. So let's for now let's just return sample, and let's try with maybe we can try with some other element. So let's try with this element, right? So this is the review, and let's call clean text, and let's pass this review. So you can see first thing is, it has replaced br, so it has removed the br, right? Also, all the characters are lower down, right? It has also removed dots and question marks, and also this thing, right, at the rate. So it means we have done some pre-processing. We can do more pre-processing, like removing stop words and stemming. So for that, we need to divide or split this review, right? So we can split using this function split. So let's call this function. So you can see so this is splitting by a space, right? So you can see by space it has splitted this string, or this review by space. Now what we can do, we can iterate over this whole review and check whether this is whether this a or on or any element is actually belongs to stop word category or not. So we can do this using list comprehension. So we are going to use list comprehension. So we can iterate like this for s in sample, right? And what we have to do, if s means each word, if s not in SW. And what is SW? SW is a set of all the stop words. If this word is not in stop word, we have to store that word. So we will say just S. And let's do sample. And now you will see, once I hit enter, shift enter to this cell, you will see all these elements will be removed, like is, a, on, and, right? Because it has removed all the stop words that does not make more sense in any review, that does not contribute to any positive or negative word. One more thing is, we have this Porter stemmer object that can do stemming. For example, if I do ps.stem jumping, it will do jump. If I do jumped, it will convert to jump. So what this stemming is doing, it convert every word into their root words, so that we will reduce the size of our vocabulary, we can say that, right? So we will not have like lot of elements or lot of words that actually corresponds to the same thing or same word. So while you are storing this s, we can say store ps dot stem of s, ps of stem of s, right? So this word will be stemmed now. So let's try. So you can see most of the words are now stemmed. So television is converted to this word, and orderly is converted to this thing, and you can see like executively is converted to this. So this stemming also helps us a lot. So it reduces the size of the sentence, or you can say the size of vocabulary. So we will find this helpful. And let's return sentence, so the proper sentence out of this. So right now it is in list format. We will do sample is equal to, we will join all the elements using space, like this. So we are joining all the elements of this list using a space, and let's do shift enter, and you will see. So the actual review was, so this was our actual review, and once we have pre-processed it, so we have reduced to around 30% of its data, right? Which is not very helpful for us. Right? So what we can do, we have to pre-process all the elements, right? Or you can say all the reviews. So we have 40,000 review. We have to apply this function. So this is clean text, which can clean any text, right? And we have to apply this function to our data set, which is this review column, right? So we will use a Python function, pandas function. We will use dataset review. So we will use this function dot apply, and we will pass this function clean text. So what this function apply does is, it will take one row, and it will apply this function clean text. It will apply clean text function to this review, and it will return the review, and then it will go to the second review. It will apply, or you can say it pass this review as a parameter to this clean text, right? So it will so we are giving 40,000 input to this clean text function, and we will get 40,000 output from this clean text. So we can say data set, let's create one more, you can say one more column which says cleaned review. So we will get 40,000 rows or 40,000 clean reviews, and we are storing that all those clean review in a new column. So let's do shift enter. So it will take some time since it is pre-processing 40,000 reviews. So it can take around 1 or 2 minutes depending on the processor speed. So let's wait for this pre-processing to complete, and then we will create our model. So we will use, we can say, artificial neural network. We will use Keras and we'll create our neural networks for this project. You can also use other models as well. For example, you can use Naive Bayes. For example, you can use LSTM, and also you can use word-to-vector training embeddings, right? But right now in this example, we are going to do it with just basic neural network. So let's wait for it to complete. So as you can see, it is completed now. So let's check our dataset variable, which is a pandas data frame. So now you can see you have one more feature, or you can say one more column, which is clean review. And it is actually the advanced version of this review column, right? Which is pre-processed now. So we do not require this review column now. We are only concerned about clean review, right? So we can access this clean review writing by writing clean review, and this is right now a series, panda series, and to convert it into numpy we just use dot values. So you can see this is now numpy array of 40,000 reviews. So we can call this variable as corpus. So corpus means the whole document. You can say lot of documents, lot of reviews. So this is the corpus. So now we have the corpus. We need to convert it into count vectorizer. So what is count vectorizer? Like we have lot of different words, right? So we have to create one vocabulary first of all the unique words, and then we have to somehow arrange all these reviews into tabular data, because all the machine learning or deep learning model takes data in a tabular format, right? And this is right now is unstructured, because text is an unstructured data. So we have to convert into count vector, we have to convert into tabular data or matrix format. Therefore, we will use a class from sklearn called count vectorizer. So we can say from sklearn dot feature extraction dot text import count vectorizer, and also let's call one more class which is called tfidf transformer, right? And let's create object of count vectorizer. So let's make cv, which is the object of count vectorizer, and inside this we can pass a few parameters to optimize the count vectorization. For example, we can do stopper, but we have already done. We can also use tokenizer, right? But again, we have done that separately. So this was our tokenizer. We can use n-grams. For example, if you want to use bigrams or tigrams, we can use that. We can use this maxdf or mindf. So let's use this maxdf as 0.5. So what this maxdf parameter is, let's scroll down and you will see the documentation. This maxdef, so it accepts value between 0.0 to 1.0, and by default it is 1.0. So it says if any word has a document frequency which is higher than this value, it will discard that value, and by default it is 1. So it means it consider all the words. So for example, if a word maybe India is coming into all the reviews, so that word will not be very important. But maxdf by default take 1, so it will consider that word as well. So we are discarding all the words that have maxdf frequency greater than 0.5. And one more parameter we can use is max features. So this max feature is number of unique vocabulary, or you can say number of unique words in the whole text or corpus. So if you take the unique words in the whole corpus in the 40,000, you will see you might get 80,000 or 1 lakh different words, unique words, but we are restricting to 50,000 unique words, right? So we are restricting to only 50,000 unique words. And now we can do cv dot fit transform x, right? We can do corpus because our data is in corpus, and let's call it as x. We will call it as x. We'll call it as x, right? So what this x will be right now is a sparse matrix. For if you ask the shape of x, it would be 40,000 rows because 40,000 are the reviews. And how many columns would be there? 50,000, right? Because we have restricted to 50,000 features only, and each column would be your one unique vocab. So you can see the shape of x is 40,000 comma 50,000. But if you try to print x, you will see it is a sparse matrix and you cannot print it. To convert it into a dense matrix that you can actually display, you can use dot to array. Dot to array. But if you use dot to array in this matrix, so you can see the elements are there are a lot of elements if you multiply 40,000 with 50,000, and sometimes it gives memory error because you cannot store this huge matrix into your RAM. So therefore we will not convert into dense matrix, rather we will just work with the sparse matrix. So what it says at the 0th row, at the 0th row, so each row is 1 comma 50,000. If you take the second row, it is 1 comma 50,000, right? If you print the 0th row, or you can say the first review, so it says 0 comma 2516. It means at this index there is one element, right? So this index or this number of this column number must be representing one unique word, right? And this one says the frequency is 1. So the the frequency of this word, the word which is present at this column number, is 1, right? So similarly we have just around 15 to 20 words in this entire row, or you can say the entire review. So rather than taking all these elements, so if otherwise you would have put 0 0 0 0 0 and at the 2516 at 1, and then all 0 0 0 0 at the same index you will put 1. So just for this 15 ones or twos, in this case twos, you are taking memory for all the 50,000 elements. So therefore we are just working with sparse matrix and not converting into dense matrix, right? And apart from this, let's keep it this way only. And apart from this, this count vectorizer, we can also use this class called tfidf transformer. Let's create an object of tfidf, which is tfidf, right? And let's keep to all default parameters. And you can say x is equal to tfidf. Okay, it should be tfidf dot fit transform, right? And let's pass x. So now if you thus the shape would still remain same. Only the difference between count vectorizer and TF-IDF vectorizer or transformer is it TF-IDF is term frequency into inverse document frequency. So it is a more advanced version of count vectorizer, you can say. So if you print x of 0, earlier it was just 1 1 whether the number is whether the word is present or not in the review, but now it is actually taking its frequency in the, you can say, in the whole review or the sentence and into inverse document frequency, right? So you can check the resources like there are other resources as well on inverse document, the TF-IDF and count vectorizer. Right? So this will be our matrix. So the final matrix is this X matrix, right? This will be our input. So this will be our input, right? So this X matrix would be our input. And the output is the target variable we have is Y. So you can see the shapes of both X and Y are equal. Just the number of example wise, obviously the feature would be 50,000 in X, and for Y we don't have any feature, we just have just one vector, right? So let's create a neural network, right? Let's create a model neural network. So we can import from keras dot, so we can do from keras import models, right? From keras dot layers, let's import dense layer. So because we are only creating a normal ANN, so we just required a dense layer. And let's make a sequential model. Okay, it should be models dot sequential, right? And let's add first layer, which is a dense layer, right? So how many activation should be there or unit should be there? Let's take 16 unit. Activation function as we can take relu, and since it is a first layer, and for the first layer we need to give the provide the input shape. For the consecutive layer, for the second or third layer, we don't have to put this input shape because the model will actually know if the first layer is outputting 32 units or 16 units, the next layer will obviously accept 16 units. But for the first layer of model, we have to provide the input shape. So the input shape would be x dot shape of 1. So it means every, like each sentence or each review will have a shape of what? This 50,000, because each review will be a shape of 50,000. So we can say it is x dot shape 1, right? And then let's also add a second layer, which is again a dense layer. So let's make 16 units, and let's keep activation as relu. So that's it. And let's add final layer, which will have how many units? Since it is a binary classification, so we will have only one unit, either 1 or 0, right? And activation would be sigmoid, right? So let's check model.summary. Let's check model.summary. So this is a summary, right? The model summary. So let's compile the model. So we can say model.compile, and optimizer is, let's take RMS prop. Loss should be binary cross entropy, right? And metrics would be your accuracy. So on what metrics you want to calculate the score, so we can say accuracy. right? So we have compiled the model, and now we can do the training part. So just before the training part, what we can do, we can divide our data into training part and validation part, right? So we can say xval. So let's take, since we have 40,000 rows or 40,000 examples, we can say let's take first 5,000 to validation and others are for training purpose, right? From 5,000 to, similarly for yval, which is y of from 0 to 5,000, and ytrain, which is actually from 5,000 to till 40,000, right? So if you want to check the shape, so we have xtrain dot shape comma ytrain dot shape, right? 35,000 comma 50,000 and 50,000 35,000 for y. Similarly, if you check xval and xyval shape, you will see 5,000 comma 50,000 and 5,000 as yval. Now let's train our model. So we can say model.train or model.fit, and let's pass xtrain comma ytrain, right? Xtrain ytrain, and let's pass batch size as 128, and let's pass epoch as 2 epoch. Yeah, so this will be done in just 2 or 3 epochs, right? And let's also pass the validation data as xval comma yval, right? So let's start the training part. So you can see the model is training now. Meanwhile, we can write the code for data visualization, the visualization of the results, right? So it will give some history object. So we can say result equal to hist dot, it has a key called history, right? And then we can plot some result. So we can say plt dot plot result of, we can say, val accuracy, and plt dot plot result of accuracy. So this would be our training accuracy, plt dot show. Let's pass label as well, label. So this is validation, val accuracy. Let's pass label, which is train accuracy, right? Train accuracy. And let's do plt dot legend. Similarly, we can also plot the loss. So we can also do val loss, and this would be validation loss. It should be train loss. Yeah, just loss, and it would be train loss. So as you can see, in the first epoch, we have the training accuracy of around 85 and validation of 89. In the next epoch, we have 91 as training and 89 as validation. Then we have 93 and 94. But see, the training accuracy is increasing, but the validation accuracy is around 89 only. So it is not increasing more than 89. So we can say that this is the saturation point at around 89, and you can use early stopping to stop this process, right? Since you can see after the second epoch, the validation accuracy is not increasing, so it is actually decreasing, right? After the second epoch. So let's visualize the graph first. So you can see the training accuracy. So the orange line is training accuracy. It is like continuously increasing, right? But the validation accuracy is increased only for 1 and 2 epochs, right? Similarly, the loss for training loss is continuously decreasing, but validation loss is decreased only for 2 epochs. So what we can say, just train for only 2 epochs, and this would be fine. Otherwise, just use the, you can use the early stopping, so that it will be stopped at the second epoch. although you can train for 10 epochs, but it will be stopped at just the second after the second epoch, because it will not improve other third or fourth or fifth epochs. So what we can do, so to find this, we have concluded that in the just in second two epochs we will be able to train the full model. So right now we are just training on 35,000 data, right? So so everyone knows that this has a function called evaluate. If you pass xval comma yval, it will give the accuracy, which is around 88, right? So I just wanted to show this, right? But let's only train for two epochs, otherwise our accuracy will obviously drop because you are overfitting now, right? So let's only train for two epochs. Let's only train for two epochs. So in the meanwhile, what we can do, what we have to do now? So we have trained our model, and now we have to predict for the test data, right? So the data that we had, you can see we have two folder, train and test. So again, it has CSV file. We have to read this file now, and it will have some review, right? And we have to predict for all those reviews, right? So let's do this. So let's read test file, test time, right? So we can read test CSV using, so pd dot read CSV, right? And in the test folder we have test dot CSV file. If you check the shape of test, you will see 10,000 comma 1, so it means we have 10,000 entries, or you can say 10,000 reviews. And why only one column? Because in this we do not have the review or the label column, right? The label column. So if you check the head of test, you will see it does not have the label column. Now what we have to do, we need to pre-process this data, this review, the same way that we pre-processed our training data. So it means we have to apply a clean text function to all these values, all these reviews, right? So we can do the same way, test of review, test of review, okay, test of review dot apply, right? Which function? Clean text. And it will return 10,000 reviews, right? So we have to take all these reviews too, and we'll create a new column in the same, we can say cleaned review, right? Equal to. So let's wait for it to complete. So we have 10,000 reviews, and we have cleaned all these reviews now, right? So we also have to use this count vectorizer. If you remember, we have, right here we did fit transform because we wanted to do learning, right? Now we will do just the transform part. We'll do just cv dot transform and this clean review, right? So we can say what would be the x test is equal, x test would be your cleaned review. Once this process will be done, we will have access to this cleaned review column, And then what we have to do, you can say CV. While training we use fit transform, now we will use just the transform, because we do not want to learn new words, right? It can happen, it might happen that any review can have a new word that was not while training part or in the training data, but we have to ignore that word. And we are not learning in case of testing time, right? So we just have to do transform and not fit transform, and then we'll pass x test, right? So this is done. So let's check test dot head. So you can see clean reviews, right? So let's access to the clean review. We have x test dot shape all the 10,000 reviews, right? We can do here we can do cv dot transform and then x test. So what it will create is a sparse matrix, like it did in case of training part. So in training part it created the sparse matrix of 40,000 comma 50,000. Here it will create 10,000 comma 50,000, right? And it, okay, it should be transformed. And see, there can be new words, but we have to ignore these new words while the testing or predicting time, right? So if you check the shape, so the shape is 10,000 comma 50,000, and again it will be a sparse matrix. You can see it is a sparse matrix, right? This is a sparse matrix. And the same way, if you just do the first and print, so in all these indexes or all these columns we have the frequency of that word 2 and 1, right? Along with this we have to do idf tf idf transform as well. So tf idf dot transform, because while training what we did, we used count vectorizer dot transform, right? Count vectorizer dot fit transform, and then we use tf idf transformer. So the same way we will pre-process our data while the testing time or predicting time, right? This way. So if you try now 0 and isko, let's print this. So you can see earlier it were in values were in 1 2 3 4 like integer part. Right now the values are in decimal, so it means they are representing probability, some kind of probability, you can say. And now we can do, actually we can predict now. So now we can do the prediction part. So we can say model dot predict. So let's we will get some result, model dot predict and x test. So we are passing 10,000 examples, and the model will predict for all the 10,000 examples, right? And we are receiving it in ypred object, right? So again it will take some time. And when we use this keras, so let's check ypred of, so let's just check the ypred. So you can see it is neither 1 nor 0, right? So because it predicts the probabilities, it predicts the probability of being class 1, right? So this probability is, it says it has a 99% probability that this review will be class 1, means this review will be positive. This probability says it has, this review has a 7% probability that this will be a positive, so it means it will be negative review, obviously. So what we can do, all the reviews that, all the probability that are greater than 0.5, we can say those review will be positive. So we can do like this, we can do whether ypred is greater than equal to 0.5. So you will get false false false, true false true false. If it is greater than 0.5 it will be false. If it is greater than 0.5 it will be true, right? Like this. If the value was at this position, if the value was less than 0.5 it would be false. And now we can just do this thing, ypred we can do bypred this. So what will happen if we do this? We will get only those values that are greater than 0.5, right? And we will assign all these values as 1. So we'll assign all these values as 1. And let's also convert bypred to integer, because right now it is a float value. You can see dot value. We are getting probability in decimal format. So let's also convert it into integer format, right? So if you check bypred, you can see. So let's print for maybe 100. So you can see now the predictions are in 0 1 0 1 0 1 format, right? So prediction are in 0 1 format. So 0 means negative, 1 means positive, right? So we use this as type as integer so that it converted into integer part, right? So now what we can do, let's check this sample submission file, right? So because we have to submit submission in this format only. So let's see. So it says we should have two columns. One column is ID, which is 0 1 2 3 4 up to maybe 4 times 9, 9999, because 10,000, we do not have 10,000 starting with 0. And the second column would be label. This says label, right? And it will be positive, negative, positive, negative. It should be like positive, negative. This is sample, that's why they have just written all the positives. So what we can do, so let's first create a dictionary, right, where 0 means negative and 1 means positive, right, like this. And let's convert bypred, where there is 0 we convert into negative, where there is 1 we convert to positive. Again we are using list comprehension. We'll say for prediction in bypred and save dictionary of prediction, right? So let's check. We got an error. So if we iterate for p in bypred and if we print p, what we'll get? A list, right? But we have to take zeroth element. So we have to take zeroth element, right? So we'll say p of 0 like this. So now we got the result, and let's check bypred now. So we got negative, positive, right, in the correct format. So let's create that CSV file, and for that what we can do, since we have to create the CSV file where first column is number, so we have to create IDs, generate IDs. We can use this function a range 10,000, because it will create, if you check now IDs, it is 0 1 2 3 4 till 9999, right? So this is our first column. Second column is bypred. We need to combine both of these columns into you can say into a matrix. So we'll use this function np.stack, right? We'll use this function np.stack, and we have to stack IDs with bypred, and access should be it should be 1, right, because column wise. So first column should be IDs, second column should be pred, and let's say it is you can say final matrix. You can say this is a final matrix, right? If you look at final matrix, it looks something like this, which is obviously like it seems correct. We just need to convert into CSV format just. So we'll use this pandas data frame class, and we'll pass final matrix, and we'll give column name as ID with I capital, because in sample CSV file, sample summation CSV file, I was capital, and label where L is small, because of the same reason, because in sample submission CSV file we had L as small. So we got this data frame. If you check this data frame, it actually look like the sample CSV file, right? Because we got the IDs, we got the labels, and we have this function dot to CSV to convert this data frame into CSV, and we will say our prediction dot CSV, and one parameter we have to provide, index is equal to false, because we do not want this thing. You can see this thing. We do not want this thing to come in our CSV file, so we will say index is equal to false, right? So hopefully we should get, yes, we get yprediction.csv, and now let's try to upload this CSV file to the portal. So this was our challenge, movie rating prediction, and we had to download dataset from here. We can upload solution, so let's upload the solution, and the solution, so it's here, ypred.csv, right? So we can upload CSV file, and let's do submit. So the portal is calculating the accuracy. So it says your answer accuracy is 89%, right? So we got 89% accuracy. So that's not bad accuracy actually. So we did a good job. We could actually increase 1% accuracy as well. If you remember the model that we trained on X-train, Y-train, basically 35,000 data. We ignored the 5,000 because we use that for validation. So if we do X here and Y here, that it means we are fully utilizing the 40,000 reviews. So we will get 90% accuracy, and you can try that. And obviously there can be multiple ideas of creating model. So you can even use RNN or LSTM and use the word embeddings to increase the accuracy of this model, right? So this is it, guys. So we have created this mini project which is also called sentiment analysis, and we have also uploaded. We got around 90% accuracy, and this is around you can say this is the saturation point, right? You cannot because the data set is not that good, so you won't be able to, like, it will be very difficult to get better accuracy than 90% or above. So that's it. I hope you like this video, and we'll be back with another assignment or another mini project. Thank you.